Hey everybody, Sam Mutari here, and welcome back to another episode of Guild Wars. Sorry if my voice is really soft today. I'm trying to keep it down. I do have roommates that do sleep at this time. So last time we were on here, I said that we were going to head into the area where we'd be trying the warrior powers. Now the thing is the warrior powers aren't really going to do us much good since we're using our necromancer skills, and we use a staff, obviously. So unless I pick up a sword somewhere, the warrior skills are not going to do us any good. Either way, we do have to try them on in order to get the experience for them. I think the War Master Grasp will actually give us a sword, a starter sword, and I can always just get a hammer or whatever from the bonus options. But anyways, also, Little Tom's big cloak is in this same area. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and I want to travel to Ashford Abbey to complete the Mirac the Scribe quest. Because I believe that there's a quest that Devona gives you only after you've already completed the Mirac the Scribe quest. Now, if you don't remember, Unsettling Rumors, we have to speak with him in Ashford Abbey because Devona said that she'd heard talk among the townsfolk of unsettling rumors coming from Mirac the Scribe. Instead of babbling to random strangers, he ought to send word to the authorities if he's come across something truly important, blah 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 blah. So basically we just need to talk to him and ask him, hey dude, what the hell's up? And now I had avoided doing this because it is a primary quest and I don't really want to do primary things, but I leave my delving into dungeons to others. To my mind, uncovering the secrets of an ancient text is excitement enough. How may I help you? Devona sent you? Bless her. She knows I could use the help. I have an important message that must be delivered to Armin Saberlin in Ascalon City. I received a vision from Duena. She warned me that something dire is developing among the Char. The city must be alerted. I'll stay here and see if I can divine any more information. In the meantime, consult your map of Lakeside County to hasten your travel. Press M, blah 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 blah. It is important that this message be delivered with good speed. Remember to use your map. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to Ascalon. Sorry, I don't mean to map travel back and forth. I know it's not the most fascinating thing in the world, but can't really do much. Also, I did something really, really fucking stupid on my monk during the catacomb run, which will hopefully be up before this, and maybe it won't. But if it's not up yet, it'll get there. Ugh, God, if things will load. But anyways, I had to collect 50 red iris flowers in order to get the last piece of armor for the monk, which you just need 50 in general. And then you need to take it to someone and hand them 50 red iris flowers or whatever to trade for your headgear. And I was so pissed because I got the 50 red iris flowers finally after paying a lot of money for it. And it turns out that I ended up giving them to Gwen. And I'm retarded. because I gave them to the wrong person. So I got a tapestry shred, which allows me to unlock quests later on in the expansion, Eye of the North, but it doesn't do me a shit bit of good on my monk who's staying in Pre-Searing. A message from Mirac, is it? Let me see that. This is grave news indeed. I hope he's mistaken about this. Duena, protect us if this information is accurate. If such a thing is even possible, then King Adalbern has ordered this offensive against the Char not a moment too soon. We must not lose this fight, I tell you. We must not lose this fight. Spoiler, we lose the fight. Oh, what am I doing? That was fancy walking. Okay, so now that we've taken this thing, now that we've gotten all that done, and obviously he didn't ask us to go to the opposite side of the world, I think we have to wait until we have a secondary profession before we can actually leave. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to Devona. We're going to see if she has anything else, because I do believe that she actually does have a quest for us. I believe that she's like, oh hey, I need you to ask about, I need you to ask these people what they think of the king, because we need to know where the loyalty of our people lie, blah 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 blah. I do believe that this is what we have to do, but I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've been in Pre-Searing, and it was funny when I got on my monk and I was looking at my quests, because I only had one. I had two. I have to go across the wall, which is something I'll have to do here too. I'll have to look for a group or whatever. So I had to go across the wall, and not only did I have to go across the wall, but I had that searching for the char in the catacomb. And I was correct. Devona does have a quest for us, and now I'm stuck on rocks. Go over here like a good boy. Thank you. Okay, hi, Devona. Oh, shit. Tithe. Oh, yeah, the tithe. Courage is the true hallmark of Ascalonian, that's what I believe. My father died defending the Great Wall, and if I have the chance, I'll do the same. Is there something you'd like to talk about? Go ahead, tell me the tithe. Give me the tithe. You've shown yourself to be courageous and trustworthy. I could use your help. With so many bandits and troublemakers around these days, Brother Menlo has asked for my help in collecting the tithe for Ashford Abbey. Duke Barradin is especially generous to the church, and I suspect bandits will attempt to intercept his donation. Can you get Barradin's tithe from his man Grosden and deliver it to me? Grosden will be in Green Hills County, north of here. Which we need to go there anyway, so this will be good. Opposition to the king, though. This is the one that I was looking for. It's sad. These royalist fools oppose King Adalbern because he was not born into nobility. They forget that it was Adalbern who saved us from the guild wars and the old king, Grenth be just, who nearly brought Ascalon to ruin. See, like, the guild wars and what happened, like, if you buy the book, the Guild Wars book called Ghosts of Ascalon, which this came out long after the game itself, it kind of gives you a timeline of, like, all that has happened in Ascalon history and just in Guild Wars history in general, which is really helpful, because a lot of the things that they talk about, they don't really explain in much detail, especially not in the beginning of the game, and they kind of, like, go over it later on, but they don't go over it soon enough to where you actually remember. So it's just one of those things where it would be nice to have had more history, I guess, in the beginning of the game to know what was going on, but that's just me. The Royalists hope to depose Adalbern and place Duke Barradin on the throne, but no one dares implicate the Duke in their actions. I'd like you to go to Green Hills County and search for signs of support for the Royalists. Head north until you find the road in Green Hills County. Talk to at least 3 people there. Sound them out to see if they have Royalist sentiments. One warning, though. Do not talk to War Master Grast. At the slightest mention of disloyalty to Adalbern, he's likely to crush your skull. Which I have talked to him before, but he doesn't really do much. He just kind of, like, grunts and gets kind of angry. And so Green Hills County is all the way over here. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to travel back to Ascalon since it's closer. I mean, I know I could have just walked, and technically I could have just shot through Pitney's Field to get there, but I am way too damn lazy at the moment to do so. And I am going to sell my shield. So, I am going to sell the shield and this iris, which hurts my soul to sell it, but considering I just wasted 50 fucking flowers. Oh, God. A guy's like, oh hey, I'm selling them for like 30 gold a piece. And so I ended up buying like the last bit that I needed. And now not only do I have no gold because I spent all of them buying red iris flowers, but on top of that, I gave them all to Gwen, like one by one. And she's like, you're my favorite person now, aside from my mommy. I'll give you my favorite item. And it's a tapestry shred. Which, like I said, you use later on in Eye of the North, which is the expansion to Guild Wars. But it doesn't really do you much good before that. Yeah, go ahead and kill him for me. Go ahead and get me the experience, like I care. Blah. Thank you for the water wand. I will salvage that happily. Okay, so we do have some new quests, which is good. And 3 of them are in Green Hills County, which is where we're going. And that's where we're going to pick up the warrior skills. And so War Master Grast will have a quest for us, and a few other people will have a quest for us as well. There's also another Necromancer trainer there, which means we'll get quests from her. And so this is going to turn into a regular adventure, huh? Gate Guard Torin. I have a personal favor to ask of you. A good friend of mine has gone missing north of the wall. He's a ranger by the name of Ben Wolfson. He was on a scouting mission and was separated from his outfit when they came under attack from a char patrol near Pekin Square. Ben's a survivor. I feel certain he's still alive, and I'd go after him if I could, but I have orders to remain here. I could not even leave my post long enough to open the gate for you. To open it and pass through, you'll need a companion. To pull the lever above the gate while you go through. I know it's a lot to ask, but if you could go north and look for him, I'd be in your debt. I'll find him if I can. So, like I said, this is another thing where you have to have 2 people. There's actually a lever on top of this wall, and yeah, one person has to pull it and open the doors, and then you, standing at the bottom, have to run through. Now, some people are like, oh my god, if I had a speed spell, and it's like, no, the doors, like, close the minute you get here, and even if you get here before the doors are closed, you can sit there and just walk, and you will just stick there. Like, the game will not let you through at all to get through those gates, and it's frustrating as hell, especially if you're like me and you don't really like having to play with other people. Whenever I do my game review, you'll basically see how I really feel about this game. Like, I do love it, I think it's a great game, but I hate that they give you the idea that you can play the whole game by yourself. You know, like, I made this guild, and the thing is like, nobody has joined my guild because it's a new guild. It doesn't really, I guess I haven't, like, done anything to prove myself or whatever. I don't have any high titles. I don't have, you know, all my achievements unlocked. I don't have, like, this, that, or the other thing. So no one has joined this guild, and, like, I don't really know. I don't really have any friends on here, except for a couple, and I don't play all the time, but the game gives you this idea that you can play by yourself, and the game will be just the same difficulty level, or it'll be just as enjoyable. And the thing is they deliberately make it so that you cannot play this game without other people, or else you will have a hell of a time doing anything. Okay, so welcome to Green Hills County. I believe it's Balthazar. Yeah, Balthazar is the god of the warriors. Look at that. See, I'm sorry, but this was a screenshot moment. But anyways, sorry. But yeah, so that's the statue of Balthazar. It looks 10 times cooler in Post-Searing, but yeah. So this is Green Hills County. Warmaster Grass is the warrior trainer, and whenever you get warrior skills, you help out Farah, I do believe. Farah, which I wish I could explain her, because she's actually, if you watch the original Guild Wars trailer, she is actually the person in that trailer. And so I wish she stood out more as an actual, like, character with story. But the thing is after Post-Searing, I have not seen her. Like, I've not seen her at all. So I don't know where she shows up again, if she ever shows up again. I don't know if it's assumed that she just dies after the events of the Pre-Searing, but I wish they would have covered that a little more, because she seems like such an important character, especially in the trailer, and even in Pre-Searing, but this douchebag sticks around, though. A challenge, perhaps. Do you need me to strengthen your arm, or remove your enemies? Grawl invasion. I should warn you that there's trouble on the road. A group of Grawl invaders have camped out not far from here, and have been harassing travelers. If you'd like, I can teach you a thing or two to help you drive them off. I'll even lend you a sword if you need one. These creatures must be taught a lesson. Being as how you're no real warrior, when I teach you these warrior skills, you will lose the elementalist skills you have. That's alright, isn't it? Yes, teach me warrior skills. Okay, so he's giving me a starter sword, and even though I don't like it, I'm gonna have to equip it. But that's okay, because now I can use my shield, which is really nice. Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna get rid of that shit. Alrighty, so starter sword does nothing. So our warrior skills, we have Sever Artery, which is a sword attack that inflicts a bleeding condition, which is basically the same as health degeneration. Gash is a sword attack that deals 5 damage and inflicts deep wound condition, which is, God, I don't even remember. I think you just lose twice as much health whenever you get hit with something. And then, of course, we get the Healing Signet, which you gain 82 health. But it gives you negative 40 armor while you are actually using the skill, which is terrible, which means in order to use the skill, you gotta get the fuck away. Hey, Farah, I need to ask you something. Hello? You must be joking. Not since King Doric himself has Ascalon had a finer king than Adalbern. The only good royalist is a dead royalist, I say. Excuse me, my mistake. Okay, so she's not a royalist. She's loyal to the king. I don't even know why this quest is really necessary, because it turns out that everybody's loyal to the king, so, you know. Grasden the Protector. So were we a monk, we would be talking to him for more training. So we can talk to him for the tithe. And he's like, "You're here to collect Barradin's tithe. You look like you could use a little assistance. On the return trip, I'm certain that Duena will be watching over you should you encounter any bandits on your way back." I don't know what that means because I don't think anything happens that's special. Anyways, opposition to the king. From what I've seen, King Adalbern is a great man of great compassion. There will always be those malcontent who seek to blame every hardship in life on the current monarch. Oh, it's kind of like the U.S. and the presidency. Many of the Royalists are merely misguided. In time, they will realize the errors of their ways. I hope you're right. And she's the last one we have to ask. This is Kasha Blackblood. She's also a Necromancer trainer, so she'll have more quests for us. So we're going to go ahead and ask her about the power of blood. "I've got a job for you, if you're willing to work. A group of former students of mine are hiding out in the catacombs. They fear my wrath, and rightly so. They have failed in their training, and they must pay the price. They're very fond of the Dark Pact, so you should be able to counter them using blood magic to drain their health." I'll leave right away. Oh, awesome! We finally get Vampiric Touch. So I'm gonna get rid of enchantment spell, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this, and I'm gonna equip Vampiric Touch, which is just like Vampiric Gaze, only Vampiric Touch steals more health, and you have to be really close. Like, you literally have to touch them, because this is a gaze, and this is a touch. We also gained Blood Renewal, which you have +4 health regeneration, and the end effect heals you for 90, which is really nice. Hey, what do you think about the opposition to the king? Maybe you don't remember how Ascalon was before Adalbern. The crown peddled influence to guilds for the slightest show of coin. Who would wish for a thing like that to return? Not I. Long live the king. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of these Grawl, because if I don't, bad things are going to happen. Kasha usually dies, so it's not like we really have to protect her. It's just always really annoying whenever she dies. Okay, so now that we've taken care of the whole opposition of the king and all this other thing, now we can go to the Grawl invasion and we can finish this quest first. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the Barradin's estate, which is where we need to go to in order to get to blah blah blah, where we need to go in order to get to what was it? Oh yeah, Little Tom's Big Cloak. But I'll see what I can do. Vampire Touch. I touched you with my vampireness. See, this is why you should play Guild Wars. You get to be an indirect vampire. Another thing I have to complain about Guild Wars is that I guess it always bothered me that you could only be the one race of humans, and it made sense because it's not an MMO. Like, the character customization, you were lucky enough to even have that, considering the fact that this is basically just a regular story game. But at the same time, it's like they gave you the choice, or they gave you the whole character customization thing, and so it makes you think this is an MMO. And then, like, later on down the line, when you can't choose races, and you can't choose this, you can't choose that, or the other thing, like, I don't know. I don't even know where that sentence was going. I'm so tired, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm kind of just, like, I think, like, the only reason I'm doing this right now is because I legitimately have drank, like, 2 Mountain Dews, and I'm still not done eating my chips. And until I feel tired and the warm caffeine rush starts to go away, I'm pretty much going to be up. So I decided that since I finally finished the video for my Catacombs run, which I don't know why I thought Cata run was really cool, but yeah, so blah 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 blah. I figured that until that's all done. Now the thing is, it looks like he has a quest, but a second profession, but he doesn't have a quest, because basically you say, hey, I would really like a second profession, and he's like, well, I'm a secondary monk trainer, so if you want me to train you, you have to be a monk first, is pretty much what that does. Hey, I did your thingy. Oh, that's a relief. The only good Grawl's a dead Grawl, I say. And I'm not ready to be a warrior. I don't feel like being a warrior because this is... The thing is they're like, oh, hey, if you become a warrior, you can just change your mind later. But it's not like just going into town and changing your mind. Like, oh, I don't feel like being a warrior anymore. No, you gotta wait until you get to the Isle of Balthazar, which is a place that's not even really on the regular map. Then you gotta wait until frickin'... I'm being killed by something. And then, after that whole dealio of getting to Balthazar's Island, which you usually have to have someone run you there, or whatever, unless you find a Zaishin scout or something that'll take you there. So after you finally get there, which you have to get you have to progress pretty damn far in order to get there. What is it? Then you have to pay, like, money, or you have to have a certain amount of tokens or whatever, Balthazar tokens or whatever, or Balthazar favor, in order to change your profession. So, I know that whenever... Okay, I'm not gonna lie, whenever I first started Guild Wars, I mean, I started playing in middle school, and I know that you probably heard this on my first episode, but I started out as a Elementalist Necromancer, because my friends who were playing at the time were like, oh my god, Elementalist Necromancer is so cool. And the thing is this is where I learned that I do not play well with spellcasters. Like, I don't know, like, my friend's like, oh my god, you would make a great Elementalist, blah blah blah, and because my role-playing character on another side at the time was an Elementalist, you know, someone that used magic and magic of the elements, I thought that, I was like, oh, I can recreate the character I'm role-playing as on this one side. And yeah, so basically, long story short, I created an Elementalist thinking that this was perfect, and now I have to slash you, even though I really just don't think it's worth it. Oh god, I hate being a warrior. Except when I'm actually being one. So I created this Elementalist thinking everything was gonna be cool and smooth sailing and all dandy, and what it turned out to be is I was horrible at being an Elementalist. I always wanted to be in the front of the battle, and then the fact that what was it? Yeah, it was the fact that I freaking wanted to be close in battle, I wanted to be up in everybody's face, like, I can't even explain to you right now, like, how terrible this whole ordeal was. Yes, because I can't salvage it, because they're jerks and they won't let me. No, I didn't want to equip it. Are you crazy? I want my thingy back. Thank you. So I was playing as this Elementalist Necromancer, and as I was playing as this Elementalist Necromancer, my friends rushed me through Pre-Searing, and they're like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to worry about playing this part, it's just a tutorial, you don't need to be here, blah, 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 blah. So they rush me through Pre-Searing, I never get the gist of the game, and then finally, after a long while, when finally everything is starting to, like, just start to sink in, I'm only, like, level 4 at this point, my friends are like, okay, well, you're done, let's get you into the second part of the game. So they rush me into the post-searing, which is the second part of the game. So they rush me into post-searing, and next thing I know, none of them are playing Guild Wars anymore. They're like, oh, this is old news, you know, I don't want to play this game anymore, blah 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 blah. So here I am, an Elementalist Necromancer, spellcaster in and out. I don't know how to use my skills, I don't know how to play the game. My only friends that were supposed to power level me are refusing to power level me all of a sudden. And yeah, so that's basically how my whole Guild Wars thing started, was I made this really ugly character who I thought was gorgeous at the time, but I made this really fucking ugly character, and she had terrible powers. She was a terrible mixture of an Elementalist and a Necromancer, and I just didn't know how to build a character. I didn't know how to play MMOs. I didn't know how to play anything that didn't have an analog stick and an A and B button. So you can imagine how frustrated I was when I was trying to play this game and I was always dying and having to start back at the town because I had too much of a death penalty and couldn't go anywhere. And I forget what age I was, but I was at GameStop when finally I looked on the shelf, and all of a sudden I saw Guild Wars, and I was obviously older now. That's a dick move that they just did. They're like, oh, there's a red iris flower here, and you can't even collect it because when you go into the town, you're in a town, and that's a dick move. So anyways, this is little Tom. Ah, my bearskin cloak at last. 'Tis lovely, isn't it? You took this pelt, did you? I'd have slain the beast me own self, but I tend to be a bit heavy-handed, so I do. Each time I kill a bear, I cleave it so mightily that the pelt is ruined, har. Good for you. There's your cloak. What do you want now? Oh, a second profession. Oh yeah, he's the secondary warrior dude. Keep forgetting. And this is Duke Barradin. He's also a secondary profession trainer, so you have like 3 different warrior trainers, which is cool, because one teaches you a hammer, one teaches you... Yeah, he teaches a hammer, Tom teaches the axe, and of course you have Grast that teaches you the sword. Because these skills are for the sword, as you can see by their lack of sword, or by their sword thing. It's showing me that I don't have a sword equipped. And whenever you have axe powers, you can only use an axe. And whenever you have hammer powers, you can only use a hammer. So being a warrior is actually a lot more complicated than what people would think. Greetings, youngster. I'm Duke Barradin. I train young warriors in the art of hammer mastery. There's nothing that drives a point home like a hammer's mighty blow. Don't you agree? What brings you here? True king. I recently received word from Devona that a Char Ranger has been sighted south of the wall. Tom and I will begin scouring the countryside for this creature. In the meantime, I need someone to go into Regents Valley to Fort Rannoch and deliver a message warning Lord Darren. He must begin his own search for this Char fiend. I am honored to be trusted with this duty. Okay, and of course he doesn't have another quest. It's just the whole second profession thing. And come here, little merchant. Let me sell you my wares. I don't want the battle axe, and I don't want the foe hammer. And I can salvage that, and I can salvage that, and I can salvage that, but I don't want this, and don't want this, and the rest of it I want. Okay, goodbye. And I only have this left, so I'm going to go ahead and salvage this, and so I guess I'm going to sell the other 2. Yep. No, actually, I'm not. I changed my mind. I am going to salvage the shit out of it, because, yeah, I can. Okay, so now we finally got our orders to go to Regents Valley, which is where I wanted to go originally, because this is where we'll learn the Ranger skill, which is the last skill that we need to learn. It's the only one I want to learn at this point, because I want my Necromancer to be a secondary Ranger, which is usually my secondary. I always choose a Ranger as some sort of secondary, especially like with a mixture of the blood magic and etc. It makes for a very good thing. But we are going to go ahead and complete Opposition to the King. And on the next episode, we're going to go ahead and do the Power of Blood. And we are going to go ahead and probably do a longer episode as we're going to go ahead and complete this. We're going to complete this. And then next time, we're going to go ahead and do the Power of Blood. And I think we're going to go ahead and go into Regents Valley. Maybe I'll do the Power of Blood and then do the adventure with an ally and a second profession, and I'll kind of do a cut and paste thing for you, like I did with everything else, to kind of like fill in the blanks there. Because I know that it'll be a pretty short episode, but it takes a while to find a group, and the Across the Wall is actually a pretty long quest. Adventure with an ally is not, Across the Wall is. So doing the Power of Blood and then doing these 2 and kind of cutting and pasting, that should make for a pretty decent episode. Now that we've been here, we can actually travel here, which is nice. We're going to go ahead and go to Ashford Abbey, because we need to go see Devona for the tithe and also for the Opposition to the King quest. And then after we have all that shit, then I'll go ahead and end this episode here, so I can get it all edited and get it on, I almost said Facebook. I mean, I do put them on Facebook, but that is not where they go. Shame on me. I don't know what I'm saying. But that way I can get it on YouTube for you guys to see. Because I feel like I've been kind of playing hooky on these videos, because I can have them up, but they just take so long, and my computer gets so overheated at times, and I just did walk back in there. Fuck my life. But yeah, so I've been playing hooky on these, definitely. But that's because my computer just has been so overheated lately doing these videos, and I of course use it to Skype my girlfriend, I use it to Skype my family, and so yeah, like, I'm gonna try not to walk back into the city like I did. But yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to be entertaining, but I know I'm not. I am so angry at red iris flowers right now, and I will probably be angry at red iris flowers for the rest of my time in Guild Wars because of how many I have to fucking farm. I have to go out and gather another 50 red iris flowers. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go out, I'm gonna raid the catacombs, I'm gonna come back, sell all my shit, and I'm gonna do this about 1 billion times until I can just buy red iris flowers, because I don't feel like doing anything else. Opposition to the king. So the Duke's people are loyal to Adelburn after all. I'm pleased to hear that. Thanks. And then, thank you for delivering the tithe. I trust that you didn't run into any trouble you couldn't handle. You can be sure I will pass word of your bravery to Sir Titus. Thanks. Okay, so nothing in our inventory that we need to sell. How about our skills? We have 4 unused points, and we could turn it into death magic, but the thing is, I really just want to save those points for whenever I have my ranger stuff. But yeah. And don't think that there's anything else around here of any interest. Whenever we get to Regent Valley, we can turn in our spider legs, finally, for something useful, which would be nice. I can't believe I've collected so many things. It's crazy. So anyways, this has been Sam Utari playing Guild Wars. I do believe that this is actually part 7? Is this part 7? Yeah, this is part 7. Wow, shit. I've gotten a lot farther than what I thought. So this has been Sam Utari playing part 7, I think. Don't quote me on that. But of the Guild Wars playthrough, I do thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you've been enjoying this playthrough. I actually have been enjoying it as well. It's kind of, I guess, it's more of a nostalgia thing, but at the same time, it kind of, reminding me of all the things that happened up to the point where I'm at, and it's kind of refreshing my memory on some things, whereas I had lost it before. And it gives me an excuse to play Guild Wars, which I'm always really fond of. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and hit like if you want to see more. Go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Again, letting me know what you want to see in future episodes. Letting me know what you think of this playthrough so far. If I suck, tell me. If I'm good at these, tell me. If I'm okay, but leave me some suggestions of how I could get better. Like, just tell me anything. I really just don't care. I just want to hear some responses, know what your thoughts are, and etc., etc. And last but not least, go ahead and feel free to subscribe to me if you want to see when I'm coming out with new videos. Connect with me online for my blogs and etc. I do game reviews. I talk about random shit. I talk about how much I suck at video games. So really, it's all a bag of fun. I always have something new on my mind and something new to say. So, I guess that's all for me tonight, and I hope to get more videos up throughout the week. I'm not sure when I'm going to have time. I don't know how much my computer is going to be able to handle. Catarun should be up first, and then this video, but until then, this has been Sam Utari playing Guild Wars, and I will talk to you all later. Have a nice day, everyone. Ciao, you guys.